The only difficulty any of us has in life is believing in who we are. And I've had that difficulty, but I had to change that today. We are each come into the world to do something. And I was the person who got the memo that we were all supposed to do something wonderful, that we were all humans. That's been so difficult to live with, especially when you live your life proving it. And then I looked at the world today and I could see the uncomfortableness that most people are feeling and the fear that a lot of the world is experiencing, and I have all those answers. But I'm not telling everyone because you're not going to believe me. That's what came through many times throughout my life where I said, people aren't going to believe me because why do I know this? Why do I have this information? But then I have to change because I went through the process of evolving as a human and coming to understand who we're meant to be. So I put together this little document and it's called I Was Given Everything, so people will understand because I can't survive this way and neither can the world. That's where we are. Knowing that I have this and I'm holding it back simply because I'm trying to get other people to do it. I'm trying to get other people to become happy and prosperous and live the life they're supposed to have. But I can't do that because most people won't do it if it's not enough money because we're used to suffering. So I have to charge, that's why I said I may have to charge more than $5,000. Rich people understand that. When you hear that term, the rich get richer, which we're seeing, and the poor get poorer, that's all consciousness. And it's consciousness that we pass on to one another, and we can't believe certain things. And I couldn't believe that I was the person to receive this. That's been my difficulty. And so now at 75 years old, I can't survive because I'm not making enough money to hire the people to do what I need to do and put out the work and complete everything because I couldn't believe myself. And I've done something that most people can't believe because I said always that there's an organization in our universe, it's energy, it's consciousness, and it's time, space, all of those things. And we've learned that from other people who have come before. And to accept that I was the next one was challenging as well, but I was. And so that's why I'm changing. And so next week you'll see all of that because, again, I can't ask other people for money because I'm not going to do that. And I can't convince people who are still struggling and suffering and doing all the things that aren't working for them to come into my work because I do have your answer. I do know who you're meant to become, and the only reason you can't get there is there's a blockage in your consciousness, in your thinking, and it doesn't matter who you are because consciousness goes on forever. I've received information for everyone. I put out a video this morning trying to show that if you just go and search the site, you can see that. However, it's not going to be something that you will do on your own or that it's going to make sense because we have a process in our human thinking that we must move through to be able to understand that. You'll see so many different people talking about things, spiritual people, mystics, and all of that. I was completely different. My work was supposed to get people to operate in this world now so that they can live a great life and so we create a better world because we don't live forever. And so we decide when we're going to awaken. And as I'm looking today and seeing all of this fear and then a lot of it around Donald Trump too here in the United States, and that's what I was seeing about Europe and everybody's afraid. Well, I talked about all of that. I had all of that information, but I had to go through it myself first. The first article you will see on this little document that I'm going to give you, it's in PDF and you can read all of it. I said I might be slightly racist with misogynistic tendencies because I wrote that in 2016 because as humans we have that within us, and unless we are going to look at it and understand it, we can't evolve. And this is why we keep suffering in our lives, why we can't do the right career, why we can't attract abundance because of all those old ideas that we're still holding on to. And it doesn't matter who you are because as humans, we're all affected by that. We see it. We just try to ignore it and people don't want to talk about it. And so when I was told in 2021 that we have given you everything any person could need to know, I said, no, that's not possible. And they said, we've given you a new philosophy. It's called your life operating instructions. I go, why would we need a new philosophy? Well, your world isn't going in the way that it could because you're still not dealing with certain issues that are causing people to suffer, that are causing your world to implode, and that's causing all the destruction that you're seeing, and we've given you all that information. I said, that's not possible. I kept denying it. I even went and had Akashic Records reading done. Said, is that possible? They said, yep, that's you. But then to have others believe it as well was challenging. So I have to change, and that's what I'm doing. But I wanted you to have this, and I wanted you to have it today. It's still the 18th of January, and tomorrow is the 19th, which will be, it's a holiday here in the U.S., so a lot of people have time to see it. And I can say it again, and I will never be able to convince some people there's no reason for you to struggle or suffer in your life, and you can create something wonderful. And if more of us did that, we wouldn't see the world that we're seeing now. That's the bottom line. We are the ones who are creating the world, and we do it by how much we decide to believe in ourselves. And then I talk about this synchronicity that I uncovered. People said that's not possible. Yeah, it is. Because there's order in our universe, and it's all information, and it's energy, and I just tapped into it. Of course, no one else has done this, so I know that's challenging. To be the first person in history who has done this was difficult for me, but I must accept it as I want others to accept who they are, because who knows what you're going to bring. And then I was listening to a TV show. They were doing a reminiscence on the news broadcast, and they were saying, let's look back 10 years to 2016. And guess what I wrote on this day and what I received on this day in 2016? Same thing. The only problem is belief. That's for all of us. The only problem we have is belief, and that's what I received on this date in 2016. We can change that, and I'm changing it today. Enjoy the information because it will awaken you to who you're meant to be, and you might do that, and you'll understand why I have to change. I'll see you soon.